Hi, and welcome to another installment of Math Basics, Mr. Besh. Today we're solving proportions, but one that doesn't look like necessarily the ones you've seen in the past. This is an algebraic proportion, and there is a little trick that you need to do first. So what ends up happening, as you can see from our proportion that we had, anytime you get a proportion where you have an expression with a plus or minus sign as either a numerator or denominator, you want to make sure that you put those terms in parentheses. Now, you do the same thing you do with any other proportion. You cross multiply. Okay, so now when we cross multiply, we take in the upper left-hand corner the 4 and multiply it by the x minus 3. And what happens is you just put those two expressions together like we have up here. Then when we take the numerator of the second fraction, 8 multiplied by x, we get 8x. And remember, when you're cross multiplying, you take those multiples and you set them equal to each other. So from here, now we have to solve our equation. Step number 1, the distributive property. Take the 4 out front, multiply it by x, which gives us 4x, and then 4 times 3, which gives us 12. Notice nothing had to be done on that right-hand side. Step number 2, you need to rid the variable on the right. What that means is if there is ever a term with a variable on the right-hand side of the equal sign, you need to get rid of it. And to get rid of it, I mean you do the exact opposite of what you see. So since it is positive 8x, we are going to subtract 8x from both sides of the equal sign. And now on the right, 8x minus 8x is 0, and 4x minus 8x is negative 4x. Notice how we took the terms with x and literally stacked them right underneath each other. That helps us with organization. This is what my equation is right now. Lastly, all we got to do is solve our two-step equation. Our two-step equation was negative 4x plus 12 equals 0. So first step, opposite of plus 12 to both sides, so minus 12, and that's going to give us negative 4x is equal to negative 12. And last but not least, the opposite of multiplying by negative 4 is dividing by negative 4. So we need to take both sides of our equation, divide them by negative 4, and we get our x value, which is 3. So now we saw a proportion. It looked hard, it looked complicated, but in reality, it was actually pretty easy to do. I hope you found this both helpful and informative.